They got some good music going on. I ain't gonna lie, that sign was cold. It's a lie, but it was fucking clever. What's going on? What's going on, pages? You just locked in the hood politics where we always keep it 100. I'm your host, Jay, and y'all already know on this channel we cut straight through the BS and get straight to the issues and the policies that hit us close to home. We talk about everything from elections to national debates, all the way up to political podcasts. We throw some pop culture and comedy in there every once in a while because y'all know my motto, baby. All politics all the time. I give you brain rot. That's why I do it, so you don't have to. We start each and every one of them off sending out our thoughts and prayers. We're gonna keep in our thoughts and prayers, Miss Sheridan Goldman. You know what I'm saying? The beautiful little 18-year-old baby who was unalived by the animal in Chicago. Hey man, listen. I'm gonna need y'all to lean in for a second. Because the level of cap that I'm seeing out here on these streets is hitting a record high, man. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all just seen it. Y'all know I'm talking about them no king protests, man. And y'all know I'm pissed off too that ain't nobody tell me that this was being planned and was going on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to figure out if these people out here reading the same constitution that we are, or if they just like hearing the sound of their own voices while they blocking traffic and bouncing to the beat of their own drum. You know what I'm saying? Cause see, they out there with their little painted signs looking like they haven't slept since the election results dropped. You feel me? Screaming about preserving democracy and crap. While they literally out there trying to subvert a fair play. You feel me? They acting like the White House turned into the palace overnight or something. Straight up, man. People, oh, they silly, man. They out here talking about no king. Like we didn't have a whole democratic process where the people spoke, the votes was counted, and the outcome was extremely clear. I'm talking about what? All swing states? Now, if you don't like the results, that's one thing. Hey, that's politics. You feel me? But calling it a monarchy because your side didn't get the W, now that's what we call just having a temper tantrum with the permit. You feel me? Now we ain't gonna even talk about the irony. These are the same folks who for years wanted the government to have power over your business, over your bank accounts, and over your backyards. Remember COVID? They wanted the executive branch to bypass Congress whenever it suited their narrative. You feel me? But now that the seat is occupied by someone who actually wanted to dismantle the bureaucracy and get the power back to the people in the states, suddenly they worried about a king. Hmm. Funny how that works. It's funny how that works. See, this where the real disconnect happened. See, the world is in the whole complete tailspin right now because the game has changed. For decades, in my opinion, the system of politics was designed for one thing and one thing only: to lie to the people. You get these candidates who promise you the moon, the stars, and everything under the sun. As soon as you get their ass in there, they do the exact opposite while shaking hands with the ops behind closed doors. And we got used to the lies. It was a SOP. Y'all know what a SOP is? I know all my military people know what a SOP is. It was a SOP, standard operating procedure, to Americans, to the whole world, actually. Because see, we everybody melting pot. And then DJT stepped in and started doing exactly what he said he was going to do, and stuff that the voters actually hired him to do. It literally sent shockwaves through the entire whole globe. Through the whole globe. The world wasn't ready for no politician who actually kept his word. You feel me? When you spend 40 years expecting a bait and switch and you finally get what you ordered, the people who was thriving off them lies start losing their mind. And that's why everything is all out of whack right now. You feel me? The establishment is glitching. It's glitching right now because the line to the public software has been uninstalled. They calling him a king because they don't know how to handle a leader who treats the platform like a contract with the people. You feel me? Instead of a suggestion box from the people. And then we don't even get me started on the protests themselves. Y'all just saw it. It was everything you can name. Freak show, comedy special. It was all of the above. You got people out there who can't even name the three branches of government if to save their lives right now. If their lives depended on it right now, I bet you probably half of them crowds out there couldn't name the three branches of government. But they experts on tyranny. They experts on tyranny. Standing in the middle of in the street, stopping people from going to work. People who actually out there trying to provide for their family and be productive citizens of society. And all for what? To complain about a hypothetical dictatorship that only exists in a Twitter feed? Newsflash. Y'all not the resistance, man. Y'all are inconvenience. You hear me? You're not the resistance, you're inconvenience. You're out here protesting a king while the actual guy in charge is busy trying to lower gas prices, keep the border under control, get these criminals out of here. You know what I'm saying? And get America back on top with the petrodollar and surround and take everything and let us live like kings. That's what he's trying to do, make us live like kings. You see what I'm saying? And I know y'all heard this a million times, but I'm going to say it because it needs to be said because it's true. If he was a king, you wouldn't be allowed to stand out there on the corner with your little megaphone calling them all them names. You know what I'm saying? Talking all your crap without catching a one-way ticket to the dungeon. You feel me? The fact that you can act a fool on national television and then go home to your little soy lattes is proof that the system is working exactly how it's supposed to. You feel me? Now I'm talking. Now I'm finna let me talk to my sane liberals, if we have any. My independents. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all probably ain't gonna listen. But listen, man, to anybody with still got some sense on that side, man. It's time to stop with the theater. You feel me? The crown, the king, the crown, that's a myth. The tyranny, it's a reach. And the protest is just a giant circle jerk for people who can't handle a loss, man. We moving forward. The agenda is set. And the country is about to get back to business. You feel me? So you can either hop on the ride or you can stay on the sidewalk with your cardboard signs. But don't get upset when the rest of the world and the rest of the country stop listening to y'all, man. I got I can't think of this lady name, man. Katie Pavlich. I can't pronounce her last name. But this chick is awesome, man. She's awesome. She got the one of the little freaking organizers on here. Finna spit some facts to his ass and treat him like the idiot that he is. Let's get into this.
Of people are expected to take to the streets at a more than 3,000 events this weekend as part of tomorrow's No Kings protest. Organizers say Trump wants to rule over us as a tyrant, and tomorrow's flagship event is happening in Minneapolis, where Jane Fonda, Bruce Springsteen, and Bernie Sanders, and also Tim Walz are slated to appear. The usual suspects. Joining us now is Ezra Levin, co-executive director of Indivisible and one of the organizers behind the No Kings protests. Ezra, great to see you. Thanks for coming on tonight. I appreciate it.
Great to be talking, Katie.
Thank you. So first of all, let's start off with the name of these protests, No Kings. Here in America, we don't have kings. We have presidents elected by the people. So what's up with that title?
Yeah, look, I agree. We should just have presidents. And you can disagree with presidents. I disagree with plenty of presidents of both parties. But what we don't accept in America are rulers who try to trample on our constitutional rights. I think one of the beautiful things about tomorrow is this is Americans standing up in blue states, in red states, in purple states, in rural areas, in urban areas, in just about every nook and cranny of this country. 95% of Americans are within about an hour of their local No Kings protests. And what they're doing, Katie, is exercising their First Amendment rights. What a thing to celebrate in this country, that we have First Amendment rights that we can actually exercise.
Yeah, First Amendment's great. And in a country without a king, we actually have the First Amendment and can go exercise our rights appropriately. If it's not about having actual king, as we can agree on, but about policies implemented by our president, were the No Kings protests, for example, when the COVID-19 vaccine mandate was issued by the Biden administration, one that forced Americans to take the vaccine under duress or to lose their jobs. Many people were fired until the Supreme Court struck it down. I didn't see you guys out there during that administration.
So what we're responding to right now more than anything else is two things. One, it is a secret police force that is terrorizing American communities and in some cases killing Americans as.
Wait, so let me get this straight. Forcing half of the country to take a jab that nobody has any clue what it is or what it do or what type of side effects or even if it works, which have seems to be proven to not. that wasn't worthy of your protest, huh? But Donald Trump sitting up here doing what he was elected to do, and ICE out here doing what they are paid to do. I don't know. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me, man. Because the math ain't mathing right now.
They did in the Twin Cities. We had ICE murder Renee Good, and we had Border Patrol murder Alex Preddy in the streets while they were exercising their First Amendment rights. That's one thing that we're seeing these millions and millions of people responding to. And the second thing that's driving a lot of turnout right now is this unpopular, illegal, unconstitutional war with Iran that Trump picked, even though members of his own party didn't want it. Certainly independents and Democrats don't want it. And everybody wants it to end because it's driving up our prices and costing Americans just billions of dollars. That's something that somebody other than a president does. That's something that an authoritarian tries to do. Go over the Constitution to pick fights with foreign countries that his own constituents don't want.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Iran has been picking a fight with the United States for 47 years. They've killed thousands of Americans. They fund Hezbollah, which of course was it's the largest terrorist organization in the world, killed more Americans before 9/11 than any other terrorist organization in the entire globe. You had October 7th, where dozens of Americans were murdered by Hamas, which is funded by Iran, missiles shot at bases all over the Middle East trying to kill American soldiers. So that's why the president is taking this on. Also, they're trying to get a nuclear weapon, and of course hold the entire Middle East hostage. But I want to ask you this about what you said about the so-called secret police. I assume you're talking about Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Your group is all about making sure that you can take on ICE. You have ICE out rallies as well. I understand the issues with Alex Preddy and Renee Good. There are ongoing investigations with what happened there. But generally speaking, when it comes to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, we've talked to the father the father of a young woman named Katie last night, whose daughter was killed by an illegal alien inside the country. Sheridan Gorman is a Loyola University student who was murdered by a Venezuelan illegal alien in the country who had been arrested before, let out by Chicago. The list goes on and on. 70 Minter in Virginia, again, murdered at a bus stop by an illegal alien. So do you think we shouldn't have any Immigration and Customs Enforcement inside the country to make sure that violent illegal criminals are not murdering Americans in the streets?
Can I respond to both points that you raised? You raised a whole bunch of interesting points about Iran. I think this is exactly why Congress has the power to declare war. I would love a debate about whether there should be military action in Iran. Again, it is Congress's job, not the president's, Congress's job to declare war. Trump himself is calling this a war. He is acting unconstitutionally in waging this war. This is, again, a war that the vast majority of Americans did not want, that the majority of Americans do not want to continue paying for. We want this president to focus on making our lives better, not picking fights that we don't want. And if there is going to be a war,
You know, it's funny, man. And I'm going to get ready to let this wrap up because I don't want this to be too long. But it's funny, man, how these people always want the Republicans to make their lives better. Why you don't never want your own people to make your lives better? Because none of their policies benefit you unless you are an oligarch, one of them. I don't understand why they always want the Republicans to make their lives better. But they don't expect that from the Democrat Party. When the Democrat Party in office, it's just quiet. And everybody, gas go up, record highs, inflation record highs. Nobody got nothing to say about it. Nobody has a word to say about it. Gas went sky high over the Ukraine war that we definitely didn't want, still don't want. And I think the Trump administration lied to us about us funding that war. Talking about we just selling them weapons. Where they getting the money from? See what I'm saying?
it's Congress's job to do that, Katie. That's in the Constitution.
The Congress hasn't declared a war since the 1940s. And I assume you had the same complaints when Barack Obama was also droning Americans overseas, and he was declaring war on places like Libya, which was a war that dragged out a lot longer than what's happening in Iran. And I would say also that the president is improving the lives of Americans by making sure that we are not held hostage by a nuclear Iran. But I want to ask you one more question before we get going.
To that point, that's a fine opinion to have, Katie. It's a minority opinion. You are in the minority holding that opinion. It's an unpopular
I don't think it's a minority
that most
opinion.
Americans want out of. That's just according to objective polling. You can have your own opinions. But unfortunately, the facts don't care about your opinion, Katie. Let's stick to the facts.
The facts are exactly what I just talked about. But before you go, I just want to ask you this question. You talked a whole lot about how Chuck Schumer is a weak leader. There's been a lot of talk about how the Democratic Party is now shifting to the left. You're having this No Kings protest tomorrow. You want it to be the biggest protest in the history of the country. Is there anybody who's not welcome at these protests?
Oh, I think it's really, really important that this is welcome to anybody in the country who opposes monarchical rule and authoritarianism. And this is absolutely not a rally for Kamala Harris voters or for Democrats. This is a rally for Republicans and independents and Democrats and people who don't care about the political system, don't think it works for them. We actually don't have to agree on what the future policy agenda in 2029 ought to be, to say in one clear voice, in the 250th anniversary of the founding of this country, a country founded on rejecting authoritarian rule.
I'm glad that we agree that the founding of this country was a good thing. Because it used to be that the left thought we were a colonial power and that we hate America. But I'm just curious, does including everybody mean that you're welcoming groups like Communist USA, who has been at these rallies? You have the Democratic Socialists of America, who talked about violence against groups that they say it's necessary at some point. What does the training look like in terms of allowing these people into these rallies, if everybody's welcome?
allowing people to exercise their First Amendment rights. Are you saying in order to exercise your First Amendment rights, you have to commit to a certain
No,
ideology?
I'm just curious who you're welcoming in, given that there are training materials from these groups that advocate for violence.
Oh, I want to be very clear. This is foundationally nonviolent. And that's not just me saying this. This isn't our first rodeo, Katie.
Great.
This is the third No Kings protest. We had 5 million people out last June. We had 7 million people out last October.
Yeah.
There are 3,300 events all over the country. So far, there have been no incidents of violence. I will tell you, I'm glad that you're worried about political violence, because on January 6th, there was a lot of political violence supported by the folks on your side. And I think that's right. I'm glad that you're bringing it up, though,
and they were prosecuted and held in prison. So Ezra Levin, thank you very much for joining us and making your case.
By the president.
Because the justice system was tyrannical and overcharged most of the people for simple trespassing. Ezra Levin, great to see you. Good luck tomorrow. I hope the weather's okay.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my girl right there. This is my new girl. This is my new go-to right here. Katie Pavlich. This is my new go-to right here, man. Hey, I hope y'all like the video, man. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so y'all know when I drop a new video. Follow me on TikTok, Hood Politics 5.1. It's your boy Jay from Hood Politics checking in. And now I'm checking out. Y'all know how we do it, baby.